everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Caitlin of DIY with Caitlin, and today I'm going to show you how I take care of my butcher block countertops. So first you want to make sure that the countertops are free of any debris or dirt or crumbs or anything like that. So you can just take a lightly damp sponge and just kind of make sure that the countertop is free of crumbs. Okay, so now what you're going to do is oil down your countertops. So I've got a clean cloth that I use for oiling. And then I went on Amazon and bought a gallon of mineral oil. They were selling those cutting board oils in like small little containers, which is fine if you only need to oil a cutting board like once in a blue moon, but when you're doing this once a month, it just doesn't make sense economically. So this showed up. It says it's a mild laxative for large animals, so that's kind of awkward, but I've been using it on my butcher block countertops and I did some research online. And there's no reason why this won't work perfectly well, and it's probably actually identical to what I was buying in the tiny bottles. So look for the mild laxative on Amazon and save yourself some cash. So what I'm gonna do first is just apply the oil to the rag and not directly to the countertops. And then I'm just gonna go with the grain of the wood and just rub in the oil there. And you can see that the counter is already getting its sheen back. One way you'll know when you need to oil the counters is sometimes the wood will actually start to look a little bit dry, especially since mine's recently been installed. So I tend to have to oil it more at the beginning versus if you've been oiling it for years and it's kind of built up that layer. Another test you can do is you can like get a bead of water, do little beads of water droplets on the countertops. And if the water droplet just stays on the surface, you know that your countertops are probably in pretty good shape. But if the water obviously soaks into the wood, then it's time to oil. Okay, now the final question that people tend to have with the butcher block countertops is, what do I do if I stain it? And so the great thing about butcher block countertops, and the reason why I adore them even beyond aesthetics, is that you can sand them down, refinish them, oil them, and they look absolutely brand spanking new, which is amazing. So eventually when I decide to sell my place many, many years down the road, I can come in, sand the whole thing down, re-oil it, and they'll look brand spanking new. So that's a really cool feature. For minor stains, when you don't want to go through the whole trouble of getting out your power sander and sanding down a stain, there's two kind of tried and true methods. For milder stains, you can actually squeeze some lemon juice on it and sprinkle salt, and then actually take the lemon and scrub with the lemon or a Brillo pad. You might need to let the lemon and the acidity of that kind of sit for a while before it totally takes up the stain. The other recommended way is to use a little bit of watered down hydrogen peroxide. So use like 1 tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide per 1 cup water, and use that to kind of scrub out your stains. So they're very forgiving as far as, stains or cutting on them. You can always sand them down, but those are easier, kind of less intense options if you do happen to stain your butcher block countertops. So one final tip I want to mention is that butcher block countertops can be sensitive to the heat. So what I did to protect my chop block countertops is buy these pieces of silicone at Home Depot. They were actually in the appliances aisle. And they just rest, you can see it's not like it's just rest. There's a little lip that it sits here, and it protects the countertops from all the heat coming off the oven. Another way I've seen people do it that I thought was even cooler than this way was they actually got a little piece of sheet metal and drilled straight into the countertops on the side. And I thought that gave it a really cool industrial look and kind of a really nice polished finish to protect the countertops, whereas this is kind of more of a temporary option. So, just a little pro tip there. If you want to see more pictures of my kitchen and other people who have beautiful butcher block countertop kitchens, head to my blog, DIYwithCaitlin.com, and please like and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.